Hi there, welcome to yet another episode of the Tales of Yambo. Here at the University in Mainz is where things started for me. And we have a lovely guest who's going to tell us her journey of how she was able to study in Germany as a single parent here in Germany, which is very, very, very difficult. I am Phil Yambo Makora, and this is the Tales of Yambo. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest for today, Miss Judy Kioko. Hi, Judy.
Hi, Philly. Thanks for having me here.
And thank you for making time for me today and for sharing your story. That is absolutely amazing, and I can't wait for people to know about you.
You're always welcome, my girl.
So tell us more about you, who you are, what do you do?
Pretty hard. My name's Judy Kioko. I'm from Kenya. I am a student here in Germany, and I am a single mom.
So before we go further, why Germany? Why not any other country?
Actually, I was to go to France, but my cousin, back in 2007 and 6, she convinced me to come to Germany as an au pair. So I said, wow, this is a nice opportunity, au pair, I'm here, I'm working, I'm playing with kids, I'm studying German. So I said, okay, I'll try it out. Okay, so I did my German course back in Kenya. I came to Germany. I passed my interviews at the embassy. I came to Germany, worked 1 year as an au pair, and then it was really nice here, so I decided to take another year. I did a voluntary work in a primary school in Wiesbaden. It was really, really fun. And then I decided, okay, I have the chance, I'm in Germany, I can study here, free of charge. Said, why don't I take the opportunity and study here? So I enrolled myself in the University of Mainz as a student for American Studies, and yes, that's how I started my journey here.
You introduced yourself as a single parent.
Yes.
And I've made the experience as studying as a student. There were a lot of challenges for me. And I can imagine that being a foreign student with a child is probably very, very difficult. What were the challenges that you went through as a single mother trying to study and trying to make a career out of yourself?
The most difficult thing was the fact that I did not have a family here. So, who is going to take care of my kid? All right? So, one thing is I had to study, think, to plan myself. How am I going to study and take care of the kid? To parent, to cook for the kid, to take the kid to the playground. Of course, it's a difficult task, really. I thank God I have nice friends here. They always took my daughter, took care of her, played with her. If I had to go to work, I always put her in the kindergarten. For example, from 8 to 1600 hours, and then I could go to work and go to study. I could plan myself. I could go to school twice a week and work thrice a week. So another challenge was the financial status, right? You are alone. You have to work. You have to feed your kid. So what are you gonna do? It's really difficult. You have to really plan yourself. How much money do you need to pay your apartment, to buy clothes for the kid, to buy books for the university and stuff? So that was one challenge, financial challenge, of course, but I'm a strong woman. I worked my way out. So, and then another challenge was studying. Of course, it's a difficult task to balance right? So you need to pass your exams, first of all. If you don't pass your exams, you have a problem with the Ausländer. See? So I always look like, okay, I plan my time. I try and study early in the morning when my kid is sleeping. I go to work. I drop her in kindergarten. When I pick her up, we play together. We do stuff together. When I put her in bed, I take time for myself and study. So, as a foreign student here, the main thing which kept me here was to study, was not to have a kid. So the government is not gonna support you with that. So you really have to work extra hard. You really have to work extra hard. It was like, oh, I need to take back my kids to Kenya, and then I'm like, oh my God, no, I have to stay with her. Now I'm going to struggle the way I can for me to have her here. But I thank God I managed that. That was one of the most difficult things, to pay my husband, to pay my insurance, to take care of the baby. That was the most difficult thing.
Imagine that we have as a student, we have restricted hours. You're supposed to work here, and then we know that the money you earn is not really much. It's very little. So it's very, very challenging to share this little amount of money that is less for you, and then you have to take care of another human being. And at the same time, you have to study and you have to work. And of course, as you've said, when you're here as a student, your work is to study. So whether you have a child, that does not concern the government, because you're here to study. So they do not give you any extra support. So really, congratulations. That's tough. I can imagine. I can really imagine.
You know it.
I know it. Society has always been very harsh when it comes to judging single parents. It doesn't matter where you're from. That's every society. So how did the people around you react when they had that, oh, she has a child and she's still trying to study? Because I know from experience, when I came here, I was even told, Philly, you will not make it. You're not going to study here. There's no way you're going to make it here as an African. So how was it for you to get all this negative feedback? Or how did the society act towards you?
So I built up my self-esteem, confidence. I tried to be more strong. I stayed away from negativity. I stayed away from people who were not believing in me. So I believed in myself. I said, oh, I have to make it. I'm not the first person to study with a kid, of course, but to be in a foreign land, to study with a kid, you don't have your family there, you really have to be courageous and strong. You stay away from negativity. Ignore anything people tell you. So for example, take the baby back home to be taken care of by your parents. Said, oh, I'll stay with her. I don't really mind. I can really work hard, support her, and be with her. And she's the reason why I study hard. She motivates me if she's there. So I stayed away from negativity. I built up my self-esteem, self-confidence.
So what would you like to tell everybody who told you you will not make it? Because I know there were many. There are so many people who said she's not going to make it. What would you like to tell them now? You already have 1 degree in your pocket, you have a job, and you're doing great. What would you like to tell them right now?
Well, I'll just like to tell them it was really a long journey for me. It was really challenging. I'm very strong. And please don't judge people, because no matter what you undergo in life, you're always gonna make it. Believe in yourself.
I'm sure there are very many single parents out there watching this, and they're trying to achieve something. They're trying to make a life for their children. They're trying to work hard, but society always has stigma against single parents. What would you like to tell them? Because sometimes it's very easy to give up. It's very easy to say, you know what, I'm not going to continue with the studies because it's tough, I cannot make it. So what would you tell these people who are in this situation?
So what I'd like to tell you guys from my personal experience is to believe in yourself. If you start to do something, believe you're gonna make it. If you get a kid in the middle of your studies, it doesn't matter, kids are blessings. Go ahead, study, work hard.
So, as a mother who was raised in Africa, and now you're raising your child in Europe, so are there things that you would do the same, or are there things that you do different while raising your daughter?
Well, I always try and take both sides. I try and see what's good and what's good from the African society. How can I discipline her? How can I bring her up? What can I impose in her from my African culture? And always I try to look at the German culture because of course she was born here and she is more German. So we try and mix. I try and mix everything. For example, instilling discipline. So it's not allowed to beat the kid here. But of course, I always try and punish her and tell her, okay, Alicia, you ain't gonna watch TV if you do something wrong. Alicia, this is how it's supposed to be. I'm very open with her. She can tell me anything, and that's the most interesting part of raising a kid here. They're very open to their parents. Yeah, she's a joyful kid. Yes.
We've spoke about how you studied here and how you made it, now you're doing your master's. And concretely, let's say there's somebody trying to study here and they don't know what to do, where to go for help. Do you know any institutions that they can go to, that they can get information and help them on their way to study? Do you have any tips for them, which institutions they can go to here in Germany?
So since Germany is a social state, it's very prepared. It has a lot of institutions whereby they help single parents, or for example in the university we have institutions which help parents who study with kids. They try and motivate you, give you courage, give you tips, where can you live with the kid, which kindergarten can you take your kid to, or if there are holidays, where can you put your kid if you want to work or if you want to study. So we have a lot of institutions. For instance, in my university Mainz, we have the Studierendenwerk. So they have they can help you if you have financial problems, but not all the times, only in emergency cases. They have kindergartens. We have like 5 kindergartens on campus. So they really make it easy for you, like if they give you a kindergarten position for your kid, it's very, they make life easier for you. You can come with the kid to the university, you drop your kid on campus and the kindergarten, and then you go to school, you study, after your classes, you go back and pick up your kid from the campus. Very convenient. Yes.
So basically, we're telling those watching, those single parents watching and want to study, not to sit down and feel pity. They should take initiative, look for information, go to universities, go to institutions, check online and find help. They shouldn't just sit there and wait for help to come. So we're telling them so they should actively look for these organizations. They're everywhere, and they should just go to their university. They'll be directed to the right institutions. Judy, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for taking your time to tell us your story. You're an amazing person. You were strong. You made it. Continue being strong. Continue being the good example that you are to your daughter. And I know you're going to make it. I wish you lots of success in your masters. And who knows, we are going to meet up again.
Thank you too, Philly. It was my pleasure. And I hope I inspired everybody, all the single moms. If you want to do something, if you want to study, if you want to do a college, believe in yourself, please. Believe in yourself. You can all make it. Everybody can make it. Don't let anybody intimidate you. Bye.
Well, there you have it. We had an amazing guest today, and what I got from her is today I used the example of a single parent, but I'd like to talk about any challenge that you have in the society. Whenever you're trying to do something, and that's always constant, whenever you're trying to do something in the society, something big, you will always have people who will discourage you, always, every time. They're going to say you won't make it. They're going to look for any excuses. They're going to make you feel bad about yourself. What I'd like to tell you today, don't let that affect you. Why? Because it is never about you. It is never about you. Those people who make it their task to put other people down, that just shows how they are and how they feel about themselves and not about you. So what you should do, what I advise, take the critique. Not all critique is bad. Take the good critique that will help you to grow, and anything else that's negative, let it enter through one ear and the other one and leave through the other ear. You can make it. And I'd like, please, today when you go home after watching this video, I'd like you to concentrate on yourself. Try to discover yourself, what you can do. Try to find out what you're good at doing. Concentrate on that. Concentrate on loving yourself. Concentrate on growth. Because when you love yourself, you'll be able to love others. When you uplift yourself, you'll be able to uplift others. Okay? Something to think about. I am Yambo Makora, and this is the Tales of Yambo.